Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today's a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, March the 29th. Today is National Mom and Pop Business Owners Day. We should celebrate that today.
We absolutely should.
It's a good thing. She's mom, I'm pop, and we're business owners. It's our day. It's also National Lemon Chiffon Cake Day. Ooh, that sounds delicious. National Nevada Day. And my favorite on the list, National Vietnam War Veterans Day.
Oh.
Thank you so much for your service, whether you served in Vietnam or in any other conflict. A big thank you, by the way, to all of the people who've served, men,
Absolutely.
women, and for those of you that are currently serving as well. I've got a guest coming up on the program today. There's some folks out there that know the name Ryan Anthony Guzman. He's an American actor. He's a model. He's an MMA fighter, and he's now a firefighter. Well, he plays one on TV. He's in Fox Television's 911. We're going to be chatting with him. He plays firefighter Eddie Diaz on there. We have Ryan Anthony Guzman on the program for today.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by bettercreditcards.net. A study by drivingtest.org found that the car theft industry is costing auto drivers and insurers about $6 billion a year. That's a lot. $6 billion a year. The study found that older Honda Civics are the most likely to be stolen, but thieves have more recently taken a liking to Nissan Altimas. Alaska's experienced a 40% rise in car theft over the past year. The study used data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Bureau, Safety Administration, the NTSA, and the FBI, and the National Insurance Crime Bureau. So that's where they get all those numbers. So it's older cars that are being stolen? Is it because
they're probably easier to break into?
I was going to say, it must be. I know last time Heidi tried to steal a car, it was so much easier. So
and they're probably easier to jumpstart or to
hotwire.
Yeah,
I don't know. So if you got a car, be careful out there. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. We head to New Hampshire, where a man is facing an impaired driving charge after police say that he fled the scene of an early morning crash in Concord, New Hampshire. He was later found driving down a street with no front bumper and only two wheels. That's a dead giveaway right there. The incident happened at 12:30 in the morning, so very early in the morning. They were searching for a driver who had fled the scene of a crash. 35-year-old Benjamin Gray was arrested after officers intercepted a vehicle on Route 103 or Route 103. They came to a stop, the vehicle did, on the lawn of a residence. The vehicle had no front bumper and only two remaining wheels. Gray was released on personal recognizance and is expected to be arraigned in district court on charges of driving while under the influence and conduct after a motor vehicle accident. So, I don't know. So that means like the way he acted after he got in the accident, you think?
Yeah, probably.
Must be what it means. I've got a link to the story. Maybe you can make sense of it. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. That link is in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Director Tim Burton is making a media rounds this week to promote his remake of Dumbo. Comes out today, by the way. For those of you not familiar, Dumbo is an elephant who could fly because of his big ears. So, do you think Johnny Depp is in this movie?
Most likely.
Tim Burton and Johnny Depp are buddies. I don't think he is. Cast of Fuller House vowed to stand by Lori Loughlin during the Kids' Choice Awards. That's cool. So they're saying, hey, we stand by her. And the director of the Elton John biopic Rocket Man says that he did not cut a nude scene from the movie. So apparently there's a nude scene in that movie that just had to stay. So for those of you who just couldn't wait to see Elton John and the nude, good luck. Good for you, or no, what should I say? Not good luck. Congratulations. There you go. I knew there was a word. It's coming up. All of that is part of our Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Blanca Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Mister, Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. The Department of Homeland Security is reporting that a caravan of 1,200 migrants have departed Central America, and they're headed toward the U.S. border. So,
Yeah.
we've heard that before. That's happened in the past, and I guess there's another one on the way. Norwegian officials have spotted a sunken ship off the coast of Oslo, Norway. So there's a ship that's sunk there that they're trying to figure out what that is. That's interesting. Reynolds Wrap. That's like the aluminum foil
I just
people.
want to say, haven't you always thought it would be cool to explore sunken ships, to find a ship and go in and look and
Find
see
a
what's all
treasure?
in there? Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yes
would be
and no.
so cool.
It'd be cool, but it would also be creepy, too, because you're like,
It'd be creepy, but that would be the cool part.
People lost their lives, and this thing's
That
down on
would
the
be
bottom of the
super
floor.
cool.
It would be cool, but creepy. Reynolds Wrap. They unveiled a hunger harness. It straps around your chest to hold food while you're watching March Madness.
Oh, my gosh.
Do we really need this? It's like a bib that holds
This
food.
is everything
basically
that
what
is
it
wrong with America
just
there.
Don't think that it's needed, but you know what? If it's there, maybe I need one. Do I have to watch sports if I'm using this? Because I'm not a sports guy, but I might give it a whirl. It says here, Alex Rodriguez is being accused of cheating on J-Lo. So A-Rod and J-Lo may already have struggles before the marriage even happens. A British Playboy model claims that he and she were sexting back and forth and talking about some sort of thing that he was wanting to do. And this happened just 6 weeks before he got engaged. So, I don't know. That's too bad. If that's true, I think that's really sad. Rolling Stone writer Matt Taibbi, I don't know if I'm saying that right, says the damage done to the media's credibility by Russiagate will probably prove to be this generation's, quote, weapons of mass destruction claim that was made before the Iraq War. So he's saying there's damage done that will probably not be repaired for quite some time. So that's
I agree with
according
that.
to some dude from the Rolling Stone.
I don't think that's the only thing that has caused them harm,
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree.
Here's something kind of concerning. A group of scientists have developed a, quote, Google brain implant, that's scary, that can supercharge your IQ. So
Yeah, no thanks.
they're saying you can take this thing, they can just stick it in your brain,
Yeah, and what else can they do with that thing?
and then all of a sudden you're going to be smarter. But how smart do you have
No.
to be to say, hey, I want something stuck in my brain? I don't think that's a good plan. An angry former employee drove his car through the front of a Los Angeles gym. He must be very angry.
I think I saw this online
That is
the
a
other day.
sad thing. Hey, if you are no longer working at a company, don't drive your car
No.
through their building. It's not going to end well for you.
No.
Or them. Or anyone. South Carolina school bus driver crashed into a house. He said he was swerving to avoid squirrels. So, okay. Maybe next time hit the squirrel and not the house. Just a thought. Dr. Dre is in the news. Have you seen any of this?
I have seen, I've seen it show up on my newsfeed, but I haven't cared enough to read
I'll
even the headline
I'll
to see
share
what
this
he
with
did.
you.
But I guess he lost his mind.
No, I don't know that he lost his mind. There's two stories back to back. It's kind of the same story. So the first story says, in entirety here, Dr. Dre posted on Instagram that his daughter got into USC on her own, and then it was later revealed that he donated $70 million to the schools 6 years before she applied. So that was before she applied, but they're saying, hey, something going on
Well,
here.
still, I'm
Here's-
sorry, but
here's
you
the
donated
next-
money. You think she doesn't have a little bit of leverage
Well,
there?
I think so. Then the next story says, Dr. Dre has since deleted a post about his daughter getting to USC on her own. Fans pointed out that he did donate $70 million back in 2013 to create an academy for the arts. I think it's cool that there are people donating to the schools.
Right.
But again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with his daughter going to that school, but that's where people are all concerned. And they're going, oh, did she get in on her own, or is it because he gave him $70 million? See, this is the slippery slope.
And that's the sad thing for her, because if she really did have the marks to get in, everybody who goes to that school is just going to assume.
The marks to get in. What are you, 75 years old now, Heidi? That's how my grandmother said it. Oh, what do your marks look like on your report card? I've never heard a young person say that.
Are you through?
I'm done.
Okay.
That's going to do it for the scoop of the day. Thanks
but
for listening.
now everybody that goes to that school is always forever going to think that she cheated to get in, even if she did have
the marks.
Right, have the marks to get in.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Today, we've got a super awesome guest. We've got Ryan Guzman. He's an MMA fighter. He's an Abercrombie & Fitch model. He's an actor from a bunch of different movies and a bunch of different TV shows, and he stays nice and busy. Ryan can now be seen in Fox's 911. It just returned for Season 2 on Monday, March 18th. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Very good. It's awesome to have a chance to chat with you. You've been on a lot of great programs on television and movies, and now you've got this new Season 2 of Fox's 911. How is this different than some of the other projects you've worked on in the past?
Completely different. I mean, in Heroes, I was playing some crazy guy who was trying to be like Tony Stark. In Notorious, I was an wannabe reporter. Now I'm a firefighter, so the range has been kind of all over the place, but this show has been amazing to work on, and it's a little kid's dream, to be honest, to be in a fire engine and fighting fires on TV. It's everything you wish for.
And speaking of, having that little kid's dream, a lot of kids have looked up to you for years when you were doing the MMA fighting, and then you've had a chance to do movies and television. Do you kind of, every once in a while, just kind of pinch yourself and go, is this really happening?
All the time, man. I say it in countless interviews. I never intended to become an actor. An actor just kind of happened. And I think that goes through all the hard work that I've put in and the mindset I got through fighting and through sports and everything that I've done in my past. So I'm the first to say to anybody listening that nothing is outside of your grasp. If you really want to do it, you can do it. You just got to put the effort in. And it's not like I'm more talented than anybody else. I just happen to work a little harder than those that have maybe a little bit more talent and kind of slacked up.
And that's the thing. When I see people all the time, their talent is one thing, but passion is another thing. And when you have passion, you put in that extra effort, and I think that makes all the difference in the world for everybody.
1,000%. I've seen so many guys get to these, extremely high levels of competition, whether it's in acting or fighting or whatever sport or whatever you're doing. And the person that puts in the most man hours and smart man hours gets further. It's nothing to say about anybody else, but those are the people that I like to surround myself with, and they inspire me nonstop.
Again, visiting right now with Ryan Guzman. He's in the Season 2 of Fox's 911, but you've been a part of so many different projects. Is there one that kind of just seems to pop up over and over and over when you're meeting people that they just say, I love you in this?
It goes between three, and it kind of... I kind of get to gauge the audience that's coming at me as they say what they say. It's either Step Up, which was one of my very first roles of ever acting before. I never acted before, and then I got that movie, and never danced before, that being said. And Boy Next Door with Jennifer Lopez is another one, and then Pretty Little Liars. The Pretty Little Liars fans, I love you guys, but you guys are crazy. That's for sure. You guys come up to me and you guys ask me so many things about the show that I do not know. But I love the passion for every fan that I have out there that, is watched either of those three or any other projects I have.
So let's talk a little bit about your character in Fox's 911. It's back on Fox for Season 2. Let's talk a little bit about your character and who is the character that you get to portray.
So I play Eddie Diaz, who is an Army veteran who also is a single father of a young boy who has cerebral palsy. All the makings to make a great storyline, and it does. The writers have been so gracious to me. So this guy, much like other Army vets, goes into firefighting because he has to have that thrill there. I mean, going from combat to normal life is kind of a hard adjustment, so you take something on that that other people probably wouldn't. So this guy has been nothing but amazing, and it's kind of interesting for me to kind of see his downfall at some certain areas. I'm waiting to see just with the audience as well to see if there's going to be something where this guy cracks or whatnot. But thus far, he's been the Superman. He's taken on everything as it comes and doing his best.
Ryan, thank you so much for taking some time to visit with us about it. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, man.
Again, Ryan Guzman, he's in Season 2 of Fox TV's 911. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The FDA allows up to 60 bugs in 100 grams of broccoli. That's not very cool.
60 bugs?
Mm-hmm. Says food producers would like to limit the number of pests and other gross things that end up in their food. They'd like it to be zero. In reality, some of that stuff makes it through, and the FDA gives a little flexibility on things like that. For example, up to 60 aphids, thrips, or mites can be on the broccoli field. Then they're allowed that much up to 100 grams of broccoli sold in stores. So there you go. I remember one time I worked at a grocery store growing up.
I don't know how much 100 grams of broccoli is.
Yeah,
I'd have to see that size to know if that's reasonable or not.
I worked at a grocery store, and it happened to be broccoli. We would put broccoli on like a little tray, and then they would wrap it in plastic.
Right.
And I remember I was getting ready to put it in a bag. I was the bag boy, whatever. And I picked it up, and there was a giant caterpillar on the broccoli. And I said, do you want me to go get you a different one? And I pointed at it, and the lady was like, would you please? And then I was thinking, what do we do with this one? And I think they took the caterpillar off and sold the broccoli. I think. I have no idea. I have no clue what they did.
He was just sitting there.
It's just a bonus. It's just an extra little caterpillar. And he was the same color as the broccoli, so I'm glad that somebody didn't eat it. Ugh. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s bands.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Heidi, what do you think this one is? Ostraconophobia. Ostraconophobia. You're never going to get it. It's not a fear of ostriches.
No. The fear of being alone or being banned.
No.
Or alone.
Ostracized? No. That's good, though. Good guess. The fear of shellfish. What? My wife over here may have an allergy to shellfish. Mm-hmm. She's allergic to shrimp, we discovered. Mm-hmm. And she took that wasn't when you were young, though, right? That you developed.
No, that
later?
Came later. Yeah.
So we haven't checked anything else. We're afraid if she tries.
Kind of afraid. Yeah, I'll expand like a blowfish. And...
The lips were all puffy. Like, don't I look beautiful? It was not good. Thanks for listening to our fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the Weird Gift of the Day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police report the owner of a Florida pizzeria was pelted with multiple slices of his pizza when a female patron was unsatisfied with the service at the victim's eatery. 911 was called. This was on a Friday afternoon. Fatos Kala, the 44-year-old proprietor of Olivia's Pizza. I kind of like his name. Fatos would be a cool pizza name.
Yeah, that would be a cool pizza name.
But it's not. It's Olivia's Pizza. They got there, and his chest and head were covered in tomato sauce. All over the floor were several slices of cheese pizza. A subsequent investigation determined that this pizza was thrown by Saida Salim, 28-year-old, who lived about 6 miles from the pizzeria. She was in the restaurant with her son. She did admit to throwing the pizza at the victim because she was, quote, unsatisfied with the service. She had copied down...
Not the way you handle it.
Her license plate number before they left. They had copied it down because she was taken off. She was arrested on misdemeanor battery charge. She was booked into the jail, and I'll bet she'll give them, low marks as well. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Michael Walters, age 52, was arrested in Glendale, Arizona after he stole money from a youth baseball team. Then he robbed a bank to cover up that little theft. So that's not smart. Police said he stole $6,500 from a AA travel baseball team that he coached. He initially opened an investigation when they opened this because he lacked the funds to pay the winner of a fundraising raffle. He arrived at the police station a day later, said that he had just come into a large sum of money. The cops were already investigating a bank robbery that occurred just one town over, and they linked him to that bank robbery. So he stole money from the kids, then to cover it up, he stole money from a bank. Yeah, that's not smart. Dude, maybe you get a job. Mm-hmm. I mean, this life of crime doesn't seem to be working out for you all that well. I've got a link to the story in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common? Jupiter, Mercury, Apollo. For a second there, you were thinking planets, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's no Apollo planet.
Are they
Jupiter,
record labels?
Mercury, Apollo. No, I don't think so. Maybe they... No, Mercury, I think it... Roman gods. They're all Roman gods. Oh. So that's where all of those things get their name. So Jupiter, Mercury, and Apollo, all Roman gods. That's what we found for today's These Three Things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of RadioTravelGroup.com, and we've got a big trip to Las Vegas. It's only a little over a month away. What is it? A month from next week. So
yeah,
it's a week and a few days, or a month and a few days. Anyway, it's May 3rd and 4th. That's probably easier. I've got all the details at RadioTravelGroup.com. Here's your good news for today. Millennials are investing, and they're pretty darn good at it, too. A majority of millennials are investing, and they are not doing too shabby, Heidi. I love the image here. There's a giant ball of cash that somebody wadded up. I wonder what that ball of cash is worth. Investing is no longer something that's only for dad. According to new research, millennials are stepping up to the plate, and they're taking a shot, and they're not doing too shabby. A new survey of 2,000 millennials showed that 7 in 10 are currently financially investing something somewhere. Furthermore, 85% of those youth do not feel too young to invest. Survey was conducted by a company called Ally Financial. They uncovered how millennials felt about investing, which surprisingly is pretty darn confident. According to the results, 85% of millennial investors have grown their money, and with that average, they're saving, saying that they've netted somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,527. That's pretty cool. So that's how much they've added to their investing.
Nice.
Most participants believe the right age to dive into this is 28. I wonder where that number came from.
Yeah, really.
They asked somebody who was 27. They're like, oh, next year is when I'll start.
Next year is the time.
A survey that respondents filled out said that they think that you should have at least $3,600 in your savings account. I like that. Millennials, in general, are pretty good. They're on top of it. About 1 in 5 say that they're overwhelmed by the idea of investing, and they've not even looked into its potential at all. So there's still some that are not quite too sure. I've got a link to that story and all of the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.